welcome to David's Grow, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear or favor. The Minister for Education, Haruna Iddrisu, has announced that Ghana's revised national curriculum will place greater emphasis on digital literacy and practical skills to better prepare learners for technology-driven future. He disclosed that National Curriculum Review Committee is expected to submit its final report within next 2 weeks, paving the way for the official launch of the new curriculum. According to the minister, the reforms will introduce robotics, electronics, artificial intelligence, and coding at the basic level, while strengthening practical skills and ethical values in early childhood education. Mr. Iddrisu said the initiative forms part of the government's broader agenda to equip young people with the knowledge and competences needed for innovation, employment, and the future world of work. Beyond the curriculum reforms, the minister expressed concern over rising indiscipline in schools, particularly at the senior high school level, cautioning that such behavior undermines efforts to improve the education sector. He cited recent destruction of CCTV cameras at Prempeh College in Kumasi, allegedly by some students, describing the incident as disturbing and unacceptable. So this is from the Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Iddrisu. It says there will be a revised curriculum to introduce AI, robotics, and coding at basic level. So this is not going to be the normal school where you go to learn. You learn things about technology. There is nothing like practice. So when it happens like that, it means we are rather consuming technology instead of we being producers of technology. So why don't we just introduce AI and robotics, practical systems in education from the basic level to the upper level. So by the time you get to the university, you know how to create, you know how to come up with your own robotics, you know how to come up with technological equipment that is going to help you and also help the nation as well. And we take countries like China, we take other countries that are so much into coding, that are so much into creating robots and everything that has to do with technology. I can boldly tell you that they are making it big time. They are making it big time. The countries who are not taking this robotics and coding system seriously, when it happens like that, they will become the main producers. We end up becoming the consumers. We consume whatever they produce, and they are going to make a lot of gain. Because the more you consume their products, the more they make enough money. And then you get stuck. So for me personally, I feel this is a good one. We are not only going to learn about how this whole thing works, how you are going to create that, how you are going to do this, and then you don't even practice it. That is what is normally common in our education system. They teach you the thing. Our education system has to do with theory. The theory is 99.9%. And the practical is somewhere like 5%. So you learn more of the theory than the practical. And that is why we have a lot of people today. They have what it takes, but they cannot produce more. They cannot be effective. Why? Because it is chew and pour, pass and forget. But there is nothing like you practicing it, you knowing how to do it yourself, and then becoming useful. When it happens like that, it becomes useful to you as a being. And then you become useful to the nation. Maybe you don't know. I'm telling you, in the next 5 years, if we should talk about people who are making more money, and that's to do with people who are into this robotic stuff, that's to do with bringing out their own, creating their own apps, creating robotics, this coding and all that. Those are people that are going to make or earn money in the next 5 years. There is money in it. I'm telling you the truth. And that is if we are going to take this serious. And I like the fact that they're going to start with this course right from the basic level. So a student from primary, through to JHS, through to the senior high school, through to the tertiary. By the time you get to the tertiary level, you know all the basics. So it becomes so easy for you when you want to dive more into that particular sector. It becomes so easy. And I just hope that it is not going to be on paper. It is something that it will happen. There've already been a program, the coding program, where a lot of people have registered, schools for the senior high schools, and I think even JHS students. You register, they teach you how to create your own systems, apps, and all that. Anything that has to do with robotics and everything that has to do with coding, they teach you all that. And I learned they even give you the equipment and sometimes something like startup. So I thought this will really help us, because trust me, we are in a technological world. The world is evolving. And as the world evolves, new things are coming up. And in this era, we are in the era of technology. Everything is technology. Whatever you do is technology. So you are left behind if you are not trying your possible best to catch up with the fast pace when it has to do with technology. And now every country wants to, they want to do something. They want to involve themselves. So we also need to do it. Because see, it will be a plus to us as a country if we also develop an app, like just like the way we have the WhatsApp, just like the way we have the Facebook, just like the way we have the TikTok. It will be a plus if we also develop an app like that and the whole wide world is using it. Do you know what that means to the country? It means a lot. So we can equally do it. And it's not about coming up and saying you are introducing robotics and coding. We need to provide the necessary tools and equipment that the schools need to teach the students. Because if you introduce a topic like that in a curriculum and they are teaching the students and there is no equipment or tools that will help them teach the student, then it costs 90 log 1. These are practical subject. That is not theory, it's practical. When you learn, you practice, you learn, you practice, you learn, you practice. That is how it is. But when the equipment, the necessary equipment, the necessary tools are not there, it makes it difficult. And so just like we want to introduce this in a basic level, I hope we are going to produce or help this schools get the needed equipment, the needed tools to make learning and teaching easier. Because when the tools are there, when you have the tools and everything ready, it makes studies interesting. In fact, it boosts your morale to learn more. But when there is nothing and it has to do with you learning directly from the book without practicing, it makes it frustrating. It's like you're wasting your time. It's just like you being in a school where your IT teacher is teaching you about the computer, the keyboard, the mouse, it functions, and then you've never seen a computer before, you've not seen a mouse before. And it makes it annoying. So what at all are they teaching? Because if your teacher is teaching you keyboard, you need to have a feel of the keyboard. Okay, this is how a keyboard looks like. So in case you go somewhere, you see a keyboard, you're not going to refer the keyboard to something else. You know this is a keyboard. When you see a mouse, you know this is a mouse. When you see a monitor, you know this is a monitor. When you see a system unit, you know this is a system unit. And so IT is not theory, it's practical. And that is why sometimes I feel very bad in remote areas where they teach IT, but there is nothing. There is nothing for these students to have a feel of practice on. I know that this is how it looks like, how to open a folder. How do you open a folder when there is no computer? It makes it difficult. But when the computer is right before the students, you teach the students, you make them practice it. It makes it so easier. Because sometimes you don't even remember what you study like in a book, but then when you are writing your exam or your paper, you remember that, oh, so the teacher said you click on an empty space, a menu will pop up, you click on a new folder, and then you get your folder. So when it happens like that, like, it makes you recollect faster than even reading directly from your book. So that is it. It's not only about theory. So for us introducing robotics and coding, AI and all that in our basics level, I feel like this is very, very good. But we need to provide them with the necessary tools and the necessary equipment as well. This shouldn't be on paper. It should be manifested. We want to see it. It is good that we also train people. We cannot continue to be consumers of technology. We need to be producers as well. So this is a plus, and I hope that I hope it will manifest. And as I said, it's not going to be on paper. It is going to work. And I hope one day also come up with an app where the whole wide world will be using. For me, I believe there is nothing difficult. So long as you set your mind to do it, it's a plus. It will definitely come to pass. Thank you for making time with me on the screen.